There's been many like controversies and like people still like criticising you because, and I don't mean this in an awkward way, of misogyny. And people are wondering, is there any kind of like women hate? Don't worry, we don't mind.
There's nothing to anything, you know. It's people can criticize as much as they want, and I mean, like, if people criticize, it means they've heard it. Good, you know. But I never did anything to provoke. I never wrote anything to shock. I never tried to be a shock artist. I always wrote just like any other person would write a movie or a book or like, it's just fiction. It's just fiction. It's just entertainment, and do whatever you want. I mean, like, you don't hear people getting criticized for making a horror movie because everybody understands that this is not the writer's life. It's just a movie.
Yeah.
And basically it's the same thing with Combichrist. I mean, it's, at least in the past now, lately it's been more and more, writing more and more as me and more personal. It's been, but in the past it's very much as the character behind Combichrist. I mean, I'm not going to excuse myself for anything. It's just story writing. I mean, there's nothing to it. I mean, sometimes you realize that people take it seriously, and you think like, you're kind of like, maybe, you know, like, maybe I should tell people that this is not serious. But at the same time, it's like, if people think this is serious, obviously I'm not running around and killing and raping, so, you know, not that you know.
Alright, so what's the weirdest thing you've been asked to do by a fan?
It's so much weird stuff. It's like, I meet so much weird people. Mostly it's not. Mostly it's awesome. I mean, mostly it's just good people. And when somebody walks up, hey man, I'm such a big fan. Can you do me a favor? Can you sleep with my girlfriend?
Okay.
Wow.
No. I will not sleep with your girlfriend. So you get asked weird things, but it's mostly people are amazing.
What VSTs do you use?
Not much. I mostly use hardware, but I use obviously I use Cubase for my recording. For some reason I started working with Pro Tools for a while ago, but it's just never felt right to me because I've been working with Cubase my whole life since it was an Atari with only MIDI, you know. So, but I still try to work mostly with audio and with hardware because it still gives a different sound. Like, even though VSTs have gotten so far, like Native Instruments are amazing. I mean, they're doing a lot of good work. Like Massive and all those VSTs are really good sounding, but there's still something to hardware that is got something that VSTs don't.
What did you think of Adversary's stunt?
Oh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. High five to him. Like, I wish I could use the video myself. So, I mean, nobody knew his name before he did that, so, I mean, obviously he did something right. And I think that's the whole, that he can say whatever he wants, and Jerry's is a good guy. I mean, like, I talked to him afterward. I'd never met him before that, and we were talking after the show, and he's a good guy. I mean, like, he, I don't think that he, I think he achieved exactly what he wanted to achieve. And I think also now in Aftermath, he realized that he might have been wrong about us, you know, but I agree with him on other things, like, for example, Nachman. I was like, I think it's ridiculous. It's like, the music for itself, I'm not going to say anything, he's doing what he's doing, and he's a good musician, but I think the concept and the, you know, and the imagery is like, it's not even provocative. That's what he's trying to be. He's even said it himself. He's trying to shock people. That it's like, there's nothing shocking about it. It's just stupidity. It's like, I have nothing in common with bands like that. You know?
Why is it almost impossible to find the original version of Shrunken Heads for all occasions on YouTube?
I never made a video for it.
No? Apparently there was there was an original version that was on YouTube apparently, and apparently now they cannot find it at all. So
maybe it was. We never had an official video for it. I mean, that's the same thing with a couple of other things. We made a couple of videos that we never released because the people who edited or did the video, they took the liberty of editing it in a way that we didn't want it, and it put us in a light that we didn't want to be put in.
Okay.
And like adding stuff that we completely disagree with back to the Nakma image thing, and we were just like, this is not going to be released, this is not our stuff, and they still released it, and we deleted it, and still released it, and it's like, it's constant, like, put us in a bad light, but I mean, who cares?
It's just a video, I guess. Okay, this one for me. Recently, Randy from Lamb of God has been arrested for manslaughter because Van died at one of their shows. So, if that happened at one of your shows, what would you do?
I mean, it's always hard when things happen. Like you see somebody pass out. You know, we just recently played a show in Mexico City, and we just walk off the main set, and just pull in this girl, and she just passed out. And of course, a freak out. So I'm over trying to help her. You know, doing CPR, they're just trying to help out. I mean, because it's not supposed to be something. It's not supposed to be a place for people to hurt. It's supposed to be a place for people to have a good time. And I mean, being to a lot of metal shows in my life. I mean, the pit is not a good place to be. You know, it can be really dangerous. You know, it can be, especially on the bigger ones. And they also, a lot of the metal bands also encourage certain things for the pit that is. I don't know the story behind the dog thing, but I doubt he would be arrested unless he encouraged somebody to do something. And you know, for manslaughter. I mean, like me being on stage playing a show, somebody dies in a venue. It would be horrible. It would be absolutely horrible. I don't even want to think about it. You know, but I don't encourage people to do stupid shit. I encourage people to have a good time and dance.
Yeah.
You know.
Does it seem like the norm to blame bands for things outside of their control? So if
it's like this all over. It's like we just don't want to take responsibility of our own lives anymore. You know, like you always have to blame somebody. It's like somebody do something and they die. They
want to blame someone else.
They want to blame somebody. You always have to find like a scapegoat. You know, like. And it's the same thing with the video games and movies and stuff like this. Also, oh, they did it because of this movie, or they did it because of this video game. No, they did it because they were fucked up.
Yeah.
And maybe, right, I'm not blaming the family, you know, because the families, sometimes they say, oh, it's probably the way they grew up. Sometimes they didn't. Sometimes there was something wrong in their head.
Yeah.
And they would do something eventually. And they just happened to have seen this video game right before they did it.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll find a way to do something stupid regardless.
Yeah, that's true. Where do you get your makeup from? Like all your stage makeup things?
From the makeup store.
Well, is there any kind of like special brands that you use?
This is a weird question. It feels like this is a girl question. No, it's like whatever we can use that, you know, it's good for stage.
Alright.
I mean, like, it's usually like, you know, theater makeup.
So what happened with the technical glitch at the Blackfield Festival in 2011?
Technical glitch, exactly what it was. No, that's exactly what it was. It was just beyond the control. You do electronic music, even though we're so much of a live band right now, it's still like, it still depends so much on electronics with doing the music we do, and having like all the computers and all the racks and everything out, sitting, cooking in the sun and a whole day, it's never good for anything. So I think that's in the end what happened, which is meltdown on every level. And unfortunately, this year went down really well. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, and it was raining and really windy. I think that helped.
Oh, no.